Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm finally going to be working on the Grand Prix GXP again. And previously I put that '05 Cadillac DeVille 4T80E transmission behind the LS4. I put a Holley Terminator X on it, a Pro Dash, and a bunch of other stuff in the car. And for some reason, the car does not shift at all. So I'm trying to fix this shifting issue, but I have no clue what is causing it because I went through the wiring diagrams, I wired everything up, but if I cannot get it to shift today, I'm going to wire it in full manual mode, and hopefully everything works perfectly fine, and I can finally get this car shifting because right now it is stuck in overdrive, and it bogs super hard, it barely accelerates, and it's just not very much fun because it's not shifting. So it'll be a lot more fun when I can start off in first, go through the gears, and it should actually be fast because the car made 300 horsepower in Denver on the dyno. So it's not too much power, but it's a significant amount for a GXP in front wheel drive. The harness rewired, everything should work correctly, and hopefully the transmission finally shifts. We have fluid in it, everything should work perfectly fine. Let's go take her for a test drive. I'm gonna warm her up a little bit first. All right. Hopefully she shifts now. I wish the windows would roll down. I need to fix that. Okay, I think that's a shift. Still doesn't shift into, still not shifting into first. That's not good. Yeah, so we don't have, yeah, it's still bogging, not into first. Let's see if we can get, come on. Yeah, it's like it's not seeing that, like those solenoids aren't powered up or something, which they have 12 volts going to them. I wish I could, yeah, why won't it work? Yeah, man, it's bogging big time. Still not in first. It's like stuck in overdrive or fourth or something. Doesn't make sense. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wire this up, throw the B&M short shift or B&M ratchet shifter in here, and just have it in full manual mode, and I think we'll be able to just shift her kind of like a manual car. Yeah, man, it is definitely not shifting at all. So looking at Holley's wiring diagram, comparing it to the Grand Prix 2000 plus transmission wiring diagram, I think I may have finally figured this out. So how this is showing it wired up, I think is incorrect. So it's showing your transmission sensor, your fluid pressure switch, etc. on the on like these ones down here, but it's going to the wrong pin. So it's showing it down, let's go here. So it's showing it down on N, P, and R, which N, P, and R down here is transmission fluid pressure A, transmission fluid pressure E or C, and then on the newer ones, the 2000 plus, there's nothing there. So that is for the range switch. So the range switch is up here, and F, G, and H, and there's nothing there. That might be the reason why it's not shifting. It's confused because it's not seeing the information from the range switch on the transmission, so it has no clue that it's even shifting gears. And that's why when I put the gear selector on the Holley Pro Dash, it didn't show the gear changes. So I'm hoping if I switch this from down here to up here, we'll resolve this issue. So unfortunately, I already had everything wired up correctly, but I was missing a ground for the pressure solenoid. So hopefully that was the whole issue. But if not, I'm going to try to drive this one more time in auto mode, and if it doesn't work, we're going to have to do full manual on this thing. And I really hope it does work, because I do plan on still putting the Tesla drive unit in the rear, and I don't think I could shift that fast. Reverse. Come on. Oh. Well, it shifted one more gear. So it shifted out of overdrive. Well, let's try her in overdrive, see what happens. I wish these paddle shifters would work. That'd be awesome. Man, she's so slow in overdrive. It's just like bogging her. Still, let's see if she shifts on her own. Oh, she would have shifted. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Let's try to. Whew, man. Yeah, it only shifts into that one gear though. A little bit more pep though, because it's in a lower gear. But still, it's slow. Man, it's hard to put her in. I mean, it downshifts, it just doesn't auto shift anyway. It doesn't make any sense. It'd be nice if it would just like go into like gear. Man, she's all over the road. So, I need to do some suspension work. Man, if I could get this thing to shift, it'd be nice. Come on. I think manual mode is where we're gonna have to go with this thing. Like this is like third gear, I think, or maybe fourth. Not third. I think overdrive's fourth. It'd be so much better if it just shift. unfortunately, for some reason, it will not shift. I actually got it to shift from overdrive or 4th gear to 3rd gear is what I think is going on, but it's still not shifting into 2nd. It's still not shifting into 1st, and you could tell that because it's just bogged out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just wire this up as full manual mode, just be done with this stupid transmission, and then later on, when I have another core right here, I'm gonna end up building it, and then I'll just go through it, wire everything so it hopefully works in full auto mode. And I have that B&M ratchet shifter I'm going to be installing, so you know, hopefully I can shift fast enough once I get and by then hopefully I have the transmission figured out as well. But yeah, this thing is gonna be so fast once it just shifts and hooks up. I rewired it one more time. I'm gonna try it. I'm trying to get full auto mode to work, but I think I had 2 wires flip-flopped, and hopefully this resolves the issue. Let's go take her for a quick little drive. All right, I mean, we still got reverse. That's I mean, so far so good. Ooh, she feels a little peppy. Molly, get out of the way. Ooh, I mean, oh man. Oh, oh, the gate's closed. Man, I wish she was that fast forward. Holy crap. She's a little bit more peppy, but still doesn't feel like it does in reverse. I mean, if it would rip like that, yeah, it's still like bogging. Here, let's try to throw her in first down here. That should be first. No, that's not too. Oh, it was spinning the tires. What's really going on here? It didn't feel like it was really that fast. It should feel like 300 horsepower. I mean, that's not a lot, but I mean, it's still. Yeah, it's not really pulling. I feel like it's still not shifting right. Well, I mean, it's not shifting at all, for one. I should be in first. I should be, let's put her back in reverse. I mean, this thing should be this fast forward. Like, that's pretty good. Like, if I could get it to do that in the damn forward gears, like, it doesn't do it. It's just like bogging the crap out of it. Yeah, it like doesn't do it. I guess full manual mode coming in. Transmission should now be wired in full manual mode, which means I just have to select the shifter or select the gears through the shifter and it should shift. So let's find out. I mean, reverse so far always seems to work. All right. Now, the moment of truth. Let's see. Okay, that's a little bit better, but that's nothing. It's like not doing anything. Like, so slow. This transmission should be, I mean, it's a little bit better. It just isn't as, it doesn't grab as hard as it does in reverse, and it should. It just feels like it's bogging. You can hear it. It's a little bit better, but it should, I mean, it should just, yeah, it's just so slow. And it shouldn't be this slow for 300 horsepower in a LS. Like, it should be able to spin the tires like when I gas it, and it's not. It's definitely not. Reverse. I mean, it should accelerate forward like it does this. Like, I should have no issues accelerating like that going forward. I just feel like the dude that sells these kits has no clue how to wire these things up. Like, it didn't work on the factory ECU, and it doesn't work on the Holley. It has to be a wiring issue. But I went through the transmission wiring and it should be working. I just don't understand why it's not. And now it's in full manual mode and it still doesn't work. I'm back home from a full day of working on the GXP, and I'm just disappointed that I still can't get the transmission to shift. I've wired up the transmission multiple times. I pulled a core transmission apart to try to figure out if it was just a wiring diagram discrepancy. And it seems everything's wired up correctly, and it has been this whole time. And it just has to be either a shift solenoid, a valve body, maybe the transmission, maybe the pump in the transmission. But I drove that Cadillac before I pulled the transmission out of it. So I know the transmission was good when the car was driving and when we first got it into the junkyard, but maybe something happened from it sitting for, as I think it sat for probably 3 years before I pulled the transmission out of the car. But hopefully I could get this all resolved, finally get the car shifting, and that's like the next step forward. I want to get everything buttoned down and hammered out with the transmission, finally get it to shift, and then move on, because I have all the stuff to turbo the car. I have a new intake manifold from Holley. I have a bunch of other stuff I need to put on the car. And then I also want to put the Tesla drive unit in the rear, and that'll be so much fun. But I don't want to go and put that in and just start adding more and more stuff that I have to troubleshoot until I fix what's already causing an issue. So I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully you guys like this episode. I mean, it didn't really go anywhere just because I think that the valve body or the transmission or something is bad within it. So I guess it kind of did go somewhere because I figured out the transmission is most likely bad. But if you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.